Hi, we're here in my lounge. I've got my cup of tea and I've got a couple of lenses that I bought a little while ago that I'm going to show you the results from. The first one is relatively normal. It's a 24mm Miranda. I've got a soft spot for 24mm lenses. Just that bit wider than 28mm, and they were good for all kinds of things. I mean, I used them for street shooting, landscape. This is a nice wide aperture one at 2.8, and the nicest thing about it was that I got it on eBay and I got it for under £30. It's in really good condition. I think most of the lens is a kind of polycarbonate plastic, which is not a bad thing. It's solid, it's quite heavy, it's got a nice aluminium lens mount, and the results from it are really very good indeed. I'll be going through that. I did a trip to Essex coast, a place called Mersey Island. I'll just try and get the lens on properly. And I got some results from that. And in fact, the last two videos I posted up were both shot with this lens. So yeah, we'll get on to the results, and then after that I will do the absolutely mad lens. Okay. As you can see, a sharp lens right across the frame, even quite well open, in fact wide open on a couple of occasions there. Missed the focus a couple of times, not on the images that I showed you there, but in general on that shoot, because I forgot to put my contact lenses in and I had to cope with my bins, which I screwed up the diopter adjustment on the Sony, so not that used to using it yet. So yeah, the Miranda, you should be able to get one of these if you're interested. Certainly sub £50. I believe they were sold places like Dixon's or Curry's, certainly online. I think they were originally intended for, you know, the sort of own brand cameras from those companies, but very, very nice lens and great value. Colour transmission's beautiful, as you could see from some of the colour shots there. Anyway, I will move on to the other lens that I'm going to be looking at today. And just for a little bit of scale on this, this is my Olympus 135mm f3.5. nice compact little 135mm lens, which I use all the time. Nice piece of kit. Moderate telephoto. Now I put it down next to this beast. This is a Sigma YS 100mm macro, and I'll repeat that, it's 100mm. In other words, it's significantly shorter focal length than this. I mean, really? Yeah. Dates from the late 70s, I think. Massively recessed front element and a strange two-ring focusing system. This one's in Minolta MD mount. You focus in via the normal focusing ring up until you get to 0.9 of a metre, which is still quite close for a 100mm lens, and then it has another focusing ring which focuses in even closer still, down to in fact 1:1. Great, you may think. This is an excellent macro lens, and you'd be totally wrong. It absolutely stinks the place up as a macro lens. It's not sharp. As you go into the macro mode with this extra focusing ring, you get more and more image halation. The highlights spread like crazy, and you get this kind of misty, almost ethereal look, which would be good if it was on anything other than macro, where you want sharpness. So as a macro lens, this is an entire waste of money. But it's 100mm, and 100mm is a very useful focal length anyway, especially because this is a 100mm f2.8. It's a fast lens, which made me immediately think of a portrait lens, because that's one of my favourite focal lengths for portraits. Now with the whole COVID-19 thing, getting hold of subjects for portraits is extremely difficult at the moment. Most of them are wearing masks. But what I did do was go out and photograph a little area just down the road from where I live, which has got canoe lake and all kinds of stuff like that, boating lake. And I'll show you in a minute some shots from that. Give you a bit of scale. This is a Minolta to Sony NEX lens adapter, which puts some length on this, and actually this lens adapter isn't very good because it doesn't lock desperately well. But if we now take this lovely neat little Miranda lens off and put this brute on here, you will see that that is a 100mm lens. That's mad. But the results, well, I'll let you make up your mind for yourselves, and we'll get on with it.
When I'm up through the night, I can't turn down the noise, tear all the worries out of my mind about who I'm supposed to be. I start to believe I can't get it right. Remember the days I let slip away, they were simpler times. Mama told me before you leave, if there's only one thing you remember from me, child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your stars, you'll be dancing, dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life you'll be dancing on the moon. purpose was wrong, and I'm still on my way closer each day to where I belong. I'm still rolling the dice, praying sometimes it don't last that long. I'm losing my faith, I'm walking away from what you knew all along. Mama told me before you leave, if there's only one thing you remember from me, child.
Well, there you go. All those images were shot pretty much at full aperture on this. One of the long distance shots I think was shot about 5.6. Might have been f8. But pretty much all were shot wide open and sharp. The bokeh, or blurry background, is very, very nice on this lens, and there's some swirl in there as well for those people who like swirly bokeh, or bokeh, never quite sure how you say that. But yeah, this is quite a lens. I'm looking forward to using it for portraits when, you know, there are people available to have portraits. This one's in a Minolta MD mount. And I'm fighting shy of trying it on my Panasonic Lumix, even though the thought of a 200mm f2.8 as it would be with the crop factor is quite attractive. It's such a heavy lens, even on the Sony, and there's no tripod mount on the lens, so that's all on the lens mount, and I'm quite scared that it will actually tear the front off the Panasonic Lumix, but handheld, it's a really nice lens, so I'm looking forward to using it for portraits. It's very solid, very heavy, the focusing movements are beautiful and smooth, and yeah, it cost me the princely sum of £36, I think, and it came in a case. What more can you say? Anyway, my tip would be, if you're after something weird and wonderful, you could try and hunt one of these down. If you're after something solid and reliable, the 24mm Miranda suits that bill very well. Anyway, if you've liked what you've seen, just hit the like button below. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.